Just give me a sec, Rick, before you start, so I can. Hello, everybody. All right. All right. So, Rick, how are you doing tonight?
Not too bad. I guess that could be worse, but it could be better too.
All right. If you want to give your intro real quick. Well, first off, if for those of you who may be here already, if you guys haven't already, if you guys can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention that we talked about, feel free to comment and or ask questions. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Rick for a moment because I do need to step away from the computer for a couple minutes, but I'll be right back. So if you want to do your intro, talk about any projects you're doing, they get everybody caught up with what's going on in your life, what have you, go for it. I'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. As most of you know, here on Red Piper of the Cross Comics. I like these comics. I'm from Canada, and I like comics based on heroes that I've created. I'm in the middle of making one of them right now, and you can see a bit of it piece by piece right here. And this one is for Canadian Shield number 3, page 4, and this is the first part to it. Hopefully, I'll be putting up another page tomorrow. I hope to try and put up a page every day, but things don't always work out like we would like. But with that said, I guess that's about it. Or I guess I can talk about a little something else while we're waiting for Mike to get back. I have no idea what, but we will. Okay, so what are we talking about? As many of you know, I'm supposed to be moving to Vancouver on the 1st of February. I have yet to find a place to lay my hat, a secure place. These people, they put up these things and they don't get back to you. They say, I've got thousands and thousands of people replying. Well, maybe not thousands and thousands, but lots of people replying. I can't get back to everybody. And there, some of them are, references and all that sort of thing. I don't have that sort of crap. They want proof of income. Well, I don't got any income at the moment. I'm going out there to try and get some income. Anyways, I think Mike is back since he's highlighted my thing. Well, maybe not. It's just a bit frustrating. I don't know what to do. Are you there, Mike? You're highlighting it and you're not highlighting it.
I'm here, Rick. I'm just looking something up real quick while you're talking. Just give me just another minute here, so I just want to check something.
Oh, no problem, no problem. I'm just trying to think of what to talk about. Nothing. I don't know what comes to mind.
Shit.
You know,
I'm just trying to determine like the exact order of what we're gonna cover tonight. That's why I'm because I usually want to try to do it in like descending, or in other words, from most pages to least pages, basically. So
yeah.
that's why if I'm not talking right now, I'm just trying to figure it all out here before we get started. So
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah, I figured I'd have some place secure by now. You know, you think something like this is easy to do. Go online, look. Oh yeah, I'll have a place in like a couple of days. It's been almost a week. It gets a bit
Oh,
disheartening.
oh, sorry about that. All right, so I'm basically did everything I was trying to do. So let me just do one more quick little thing, and then we will get going on.
Yeah, oh,
So I guess you told everybody about you basically did your intro and all that, Rick.
yeah.
All right. All right. So anyway, so okay, so we'll go ahead now, and then I'll talk about what's on tap for tonight. So tonight, of course, we're continuing our look at comics that went on sale in January 1940. This week, we're going to be focusing on books that went on sale from Fiction House publications, including Jumbo Comics Volume 1, Issue 13, where we'll be reading Sheena of the Jungle and Stuart Taylor in Weird Stories of the Supernatural. We'll be reading from Fight Comics Volume 1, Issue 3, K.O. Kirby. We'll be reading from Jungle Comics Volume 1, Issue 3, Simba, King of the Beast. And we'll be also reading from Comics Volume 1, Issue 3, Red Comics. So that's basically what's on tap tonight. We're going to be reading a lot of these stories. Let me see. Actually, let's take a since we are in January. I should have been doing this all along, of course, but let me just check one more thing here. It's always one more thing, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Always one more thing.
Oh wait, what am I doing? I don't know, Mike. Let's see now. I'm just trying to see if there's anything of historical note to kind of review here, but that doesn't look like it. Alrighty, okay, so all right, so the big six of the comics, um, I'll read a portion of this here. Read a portion of this little segment here that this may be of some pertinence, as it were.
Okie dokie, Smokey.
Then we'll, of course, get into the actual feature programming, as it were. All right, so here we go with this then. The big six of the comics. This, I guess, these are the big six titles of this particular um, publisher. Jumbo proved a hit, and Fiction House would go on to publish Jungle Comics, the aviation-themed Wings comic, the science fiction title Planet Comics, Rangers Comics, and Fight Comics. Now, three of those, of course, Jungle, Fight, and Planet, we're already doing. During the early 1940s, most of these series, taking their titles and themes from the Fiction House pulps, Fiction House referred to these titles in its regular house ads as the Big Six. But the company also published several other titles, among them the Western themed Indians and Firehair, jungle titles Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, and Wombi, and 5 issues of Eisner's The Spirit. So let's see. And I think for this particular thing, that's about as much as we need. So now, with all that being said, of course, let's get on to the feature presentation, as it were. So,
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, so
On
there's
with the show. This is no more rehearsing. We don't know our parts by heart. We didn't even have any rehearsals.
kind of funny because I see that opening every Saturday morning on MeTV because that's the opening they use for their Bugs Bunny show, Bugs Bunny Saturday morning cartoon show, which airs for like an hour.
Yes, of course, that's where I took it from. I was just paraphrasing it a little.
Yeah, so here we go. Jumbo Comics. Rick, of course, you're going to want to do some reading too, right?
Yep.
All right, I'll direct you along as we go. So here we go. Action, adventure, mystery, Jumbo Comics. March number 13. 10 cents, 64 pages in full color. Now published monthly.
Wowzers.
Sheena in the Thundering Herds. Now look at that. Look at that, right? Look at Sheena right there. She's a looker, isn't she?
Yeah. But look at that scowl on her face.
Yeah.
Then again, she's about to, be manhandled by, or ape handle or whatever handle.
Yeah.
But
Calling all manhunters. When you solve a crime, come on, you comic magazine manhunters, join the greatest detective of them all, Bullseye Bannon, in a case that will pay you big prize money, $25. $25, of course, was big money back in 1940. Probably not as much now, but
yeah, it was all right money, but I don't even think it was big money. $25.
In prizes, plus a membership in the new exclusive Junior Detective Manhunter Agency. So there we go. Right. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle by W. Morgan Thomas. And I think I've mentioned this before, of course. That was one of the pseudonyms that was used by Will Eisner.
Yeah, did Sheena ever beat Tarzan?
Don't know.
She's queen of the jungle.
Crossovers.
She's queen of the jungle. Is he king of the jungle?
Now, could you imagine if Sheena and Tarzan actually got married? They'd be the king and queen of the jungle.
Royalty.
All right. You want to do that guy on the right there? I'll do Sheena, but you want to do the guy there?
Okay. And we had no dialogue beforehand.
No dialogue before, and no narration or anything like that.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So Sheena's approaching the two safari guys right there. So the safari guy, I guess, with the yellow strip on his hat there.
Oh, you guys caught a start. Who are you?
I am Sheena. Come, I will take you to your village. A few minutes later, at the village, I guess I'll do this guy and then okay. So
Okay.
you are in a remote territory. What made you come so far? Well, John and I got tired of hunting in the same old places, so we decided to strike a bit further. And then you're the other guy there.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Well, okay, elephants.
I think it's like hunting. You just didn't put the H in there. So,
yeah. Well, hunting elephants.
There's plenty of elephant herds about 30 miles east of here. It's rather dangerous country. We'd better take you through. That would be fine. After a night's rest, the safari heads for the east. Sheena and Bob leading the way. Unknown to them, a leering face watches their every step from a mass of tangled foliage. From a tree, one of the fierce Zulu warriors draws back his bow and looses a deadly arrow into the caravan's midst. With a shrill shriek, a carrier slumps to the ground, the slender shaft buried in his heart. Zulus, quick! Get the men to cover. They're headhunters. Out of the forest pour hundreds of cruel savages, screaming and shouting, and advancing on the fleeing safari. Now, again, as I always mention, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment out or ask questions. We'll try to answer the questions best of our ability. So, our only chance is to fire these weeds.
Fire these weeds?
I guess is that's maybe another way of saying set fire to these weeds.
Yeah, it's just I knew
Yeah,
it was bad.
by our standards, it sounds a little off.
Yeah.
Grabbing a torch, Bob runs among the dried shoots, quickly setting it afire. In a flash, the parched grass burst into a roaring inferno of flame and gushing smoke. It has driven back the fierce ones. Lucky for us, the wind was blowing toward them. Well, let's get going.
I guess that makes Bob an arsonist.
What was that?
I said that makes Bob an arsonist.
I guess you could say that. Slowly, the small group pushes on through the jungle undergrowth. Meanwhile, Buddha, the giant mother elephant, slips and plunges into a sticky quagmire. Namu, the lion, hungry for meat, sees the helpless plight of the frantic beast. Oh wow! I think that lion. What would you say there, Tim? Do you think that lion sees lunch or dinner in its sights? Maybe.
Yeah, but I wonder whether it would be extra careful because it sees it sinking. I would think lions know sort of about quicksand or whatever that danger. You know, so
What was that? Can you repeat that? Because you kind of went a little low there.
I was saying, I wonder whether the lion realizes it's in quicksand because it's sinking and all that. You can see that it's sinking. So would the lion be a little bit more cautious in trying to take
that's always a chance of that. But let's continue on here. Ah, look, that baby elephant's mother is stuck in the bog. Namu, yellow eyes gleaming with anticipation of the tender flesh, leaps toward the terrified baby pachyderm.
Well, that makes sense. Go up to the baby mama's trap, right?
Uh-huh. That might be the thing. Trumpeting. Let's see. Okay. Trumpeting desperately, Buddha watches her young one fall under the cruel claws of the king of the jungle.
I'm not sure whether I'd say that they're cruel. It's the way of the jungle.
Suddenly, from the thickets, a yellow streak flashes a long dagger, ready for a fight to the finish. Furious, Namu turns on his opponent, wildly clawing the air as Sheena stops his murderous lunge.
Yeah, but it wasn't a murder. Well, it was, but it wasn't. This animal has to eat. It eats meat, and it's just doing what's supposed to come naturally to it. It's the way the jungle works. Sheena has lived in the jungle long enough. She should know this.
Yeah, but maybe the thing is, she's thinking that he shouldn't be going after the baby. But, again, that's just how they wrote it, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I mean,
it's
that's
the
the thing
way.
about jungle adventures too. That kind of stuff happens, and I think in a lot of jungle adventures, sometimes players of the jungle will try to maintain peace you know, by defending the more innocent of the situation. So a sudden twist catapults the jungle queen through the air. Look at how she falls back like.
Yeah.
um, she's lost her knife. The lion's going in for the kill, and he shoots the lion. Of course, straight and true. Bob's shot pierces the beast's heart, and plunges and he plunges to the ground.
And all this because the lion wanted some food, and he was going after something that he would normally go after. It's only when Sheena got in the way that he went after her.
Yeah,
They had to kill her.
yeah.
SJWs back then.
Yeah. You will pick on someone bigger than you, huh? And then the other one is you, Rick.
Oh, hi. Say, that was jolly well done.
Let's see. All right, so I think the top is you, then then the middle is me, and then you're the top and the bottom. I'm the one in the I'm the speak in the middle there.
Oh, let's kill the beast and take a toss. Oh, it brings us nice spot of cash.
Hmm. Mr. John, we do not kill female elephants. We are going to pull Buta out of the mire.
Yes, of course.
Gathering the porters, Bob bids them throw ropes around the hapless animal.
Now, my question is, they said they were going hunting elephants. Then, why the heck are you? What if you're not going to help them hunt elephants? It's only certain elephants that you can hunt.
What was that, Rick?
I said that they agreed to help them hunt elephants, but now apparently it's only certain elephants. It's just male elephants.
Again, a leap in logic there. That's all we can say about it. It does kind of.
It's like, why did you agree to help them to begin with?
Don't know. Maybe that's just how the story's going, I guess. So start pulling hard now. Get a move on. Grunting and groaning, the blacks tug until Buta is free of the clinging mud, gently caressing her. Oh,
I was gonna just say that little bit of dialogue would not go over today. The
because
blacks.
of the blacks. Yeah, well, I mean, but it was straight. But in that particular case, though, that was just simple narration. That wasn't like there wasn't any like hidden
Yeah,
meaning.
yeah. There wasn't any malice in it. It was just trying to be descriptive.
Right.
But
Gently caressing her bleeding baby, Buddha gazes gratefully at Sheena and Bob. You can almost read the thank you in her eyes. That's what Bob was. Wow, wouldn't that be something, Rick? If you looked into an animal's eyes and you could read thank you from them.
I think I've done it a few times. Pets, usually.
There she goes. I wonder if we'll ever see her again.
I bet
Once
you will.
again, huh? What was that?
I said, I bet you will somewhere near the end of this story.
Once
So,
again, the men shoulder their pack and move on. Let's see. Look, a cave. I never saw that before.
You never saw a cave before?
Well, I never saw that cave before, maybe is what she meant. But...
Yeah, and I'm sure there's lots of caves you haven't seen in the jungle before.
Let's see what's inside. It's getting lighter over there. Come on. Why? It's the elephant's graveyard. We found it, John. No, you must not go in there. No one has ever returned from there. You will be killed. Look at all that. All those bones.
Yeah, bones, those dry bones.
You might as well know that our hunting trip was only an excuse. We're ivory dealers, and this is our goal. Let me go. Let the fools go, Sheena. I'm glad we're out of there. But those men will surely meet with disaster. Even the carriers have fled. Those foolish men, their greed has overcome their good sense. Listen. On the hilltop, a lone elephant bellows a call. He is calling his herd to destroy the thieves who robbed their grave. I must get them out of there. Look at her face. Look at how they drew her face there.
Yeah. I'm not even sure whether the elephants would care. And they would have to know that they're in there to care, too.
Well, it looks like maybe the elephant may have seen him go in. That's a because look, he's at a hilltop there. He may have been standing on the hilltop, seeing him go in.
Yeah, but they don't know they're stealing anything or supposedly stealing.
Yeah, but animals, simply trespassing will get animals' attention. Simply going in there, regardless of the reason, animals will go in there miffed.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess the animal would care more about being trespassed than taking the bones, because the animals wouldn't care
Right.
about.
I mean, the taking of the bones would just be added punishment, and that would be like more, but you have to think about from the elephant's point of view. Hey, you're not supposed to be in there. Get the bleep out. We're coming. If you don't get out, we're going to come in there and kill you.
Yeah, well, they don't even.
That's the elephant's mindset right there.
Yeah, well, the elephant hasn't even. Yeah, he did the call for other elephants, but they don't even know the elephants are coming after them.
Mm-hmm.
Although, Sheena's like said, you should still do anything to be in here.
Yes. I hope we'll be in time. Suddenly, a harmless snake slithers out from under a rock and gets tangled in Bob's leg. Whoa! Look at that. He's falling over. Well, look how he was running there too. It was probably he was probably off balance to begin with. At least how they drew him.
Yeah, it's like how do you get a snake tangled in your legs that's slithering on the ground?
Rick, have you ever lived in a house with a yard in it, and where there's or you ever walk through like whether it's your own yard or somebody else's yard, and sometimes the hose might get the garden hose might kind of get hooked onto your legs. That's probably how it happens.
Yeah, but this is a living thing.
Again, I don't know if you've ever lived in a house per se or
I have a couple times. I lived in a house probably for
sure. It's a similar experience as if you're walking out in your yard and your legs get tangled up in a garden hose or something like that.
Yeah, but the garden hose has to be on the ground and all tangled up to begin with for you to get tangled in it. The snake is just slithering across the ground. You're more likely to kick it than
so here's what probably happened then. The snake crossed Bob's path as he was in stride. Okay, and as Bob's legs were closing, the snake, feeling threatened, tangled up in Bob's legs and caused him to fall.
Maybe
kind of like this happening. So here's the walking, right? Here's the walking along.
Yeah, but they're running.
The snake comes in as Bob is in mid stride here. The snake will, of course, wrap around.
But it's not gonna. I can't see it having time to wrap around. If you're in a stride, like running, like they're showing, you're more likely going to end up kicking that snake or running.
It may have just been one of those instances where the snake just happened to pass between Bob's legs at a point to where Bob's legs were closing enough to where he would have wrapped around. It's like probably feels it coming, so he's just the snake. It might just be happening so quickly that
to me, it's like a 1 in a quadrillion chance thing happening here. Not more.
And it just happened to that 1 in quadrillion chance happened here in this comic. Okay, we know that. I'm just giving you what's probably likely they're thinking there in terms of setting that up. So anyway, on with the story here. Curse the luck. I've twisted my ankle. You go on. I'll be safe here. No, I will help you. I'll help you outside. Assisting Bob out to the broad veldt, Sheena speeds back to the cave. Or they take him outside off screen, obviously, off panel.
Yeah.
And then there you see the ivory dealers in the midst of the elephant graveyard.
Yeah, it's obviously a very far spot inside or whatever for them to where they get in and they not come in contact with those guys. Then go back out, come back in.
All right. Well, let's see. Pushing and heaving, the lumbering beasts snatch up the men and crush them in their trunks. Wow, look at that.
Did we miss something? When did they get in there? When did they get in there? The elephant.
That panel right there. Look at. I just went back up a panel. Look at that panel right there.
Okay,
look
so
they're right. Look to your right.
Yeah. Okay. So apparently they're coming
big enough to where at least 2 or 3 of them can probably come in at a time.
Yeah. Apparently they're coming in a different direction to Sheena.
I guess.
This game got 3 or 4 entrances.
Yeah. And then looks like the elephants are looking at Sheena now. They're coming after me. Running desperately, Sheena tries to escape the infuriated animals. As she comes out into the open plain, Uta, standing by, watches the tense drama unfold. Recognizing her friend, the huge elephant breaks into an gangly run, crossing in front of the oncoming herd. Buddha runs for Sheena. With a twist of her long trunk, she pulls the girl out of danger. You saved my life, Buddha.
Well, you saved mine earlier, so I'm returning the favor.
Now it's my turn to be grateful. Thank you. In some mysterious way, Buddha explains to the band that the little blonde girl is a friend.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Bob anxiously waits for Sheena to return. From a rock, Sika, the cobra, turns his beady eyes on Bob. Oh, beady eyes of a snake. A cobra, if I make a move for my gun, he'll strike at once. Sika, he's going for the strike. He's coiling for the strike. Quickly drawing her dagger, Sheena takes careful aim. Bearing his fame, Sika hisses once and lashes out. Okay, I was never so glad to see you before in my life. It will be dark soon, Bob. We must get shelter. I know of a friendly pygmy village just a mile to the south. Leaning on Sheena's shoulder, Bob manages to hobble along well enough to get to the tiny men's village. It is kind of you to offer us shelter and food, Chief Kaglanga. You want to be Chief Kaglanga right there, Rick?
Now, it's kind of you to honor my village with your presence, Jungle Queen.
Good voice there, Rick. After doctoring Bob's foot, the little people hold a grand feast in Sheena's honor. Now, when they say doctoring, means here in this case tending to or giving first aid. Just another way to set it like back then. So,
Yeah.
And when finally the revelry subsides, the village grows quiet. The moon is on the wane. Don't miss Sheena's battle with a man-eating crocodile in the next month's issue of Jumbo Comics. How did you like that story, Rick? Did you like that?
Yes, all right. A little mundane, a couple far-fetched, a little bit far-fetched in a couple places, but
All
it
right,
is what
we
it
may
is.
move on to the other story in Jumbo Comics. Jumbo Comics goes on sale the first of every month. Peter pup.
Isn't that the first week, or is that the first of
Yeah,
every month?
the first week of the month. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the first of every month.
Oh, oh.
The hawk of the sea there. Um,
Oh, that's a different unit. I think.
Enter Spiel by and it's Coldbrook. Check Detroit, I think. Bobby by S.M. Iger, Samuel Maxwell Iger. Okay, we could have probably thrown in Peter Pup and Bobby there. But anyway, here we go. Stuart Taylor in Weird Stories of the Supernatural. All right, I'll let you do Stuart here, but first out there's some, of course, narration here. In the magnificent laboratory, which is their own, Stuart Taylor and Laura perform a fantastic experiment.
I'll make an attempt to project myself into the future. This time, Laura, I go alone.
Stuart, are you trying to infer that I would not be able to stand the hardships as well as you?
There's no telling what may happen. I may never return.
Please be careful, dearest.
Then let me come with you and die with you as well.
Bidding Laura goodbye, he pulls a switch and rides in a mist.
Fades in a mist.
A few minutes later, he finds himself in a strange land. Suddenly, a voice rings out. Stand still, or we'll kill you. What do you want here? Speak up.
I'm a lost scientist.
A scientist. Perhaps you will be able to help us. The insects are coming to attack again. Hear that drone? Quick, we must get to the fort. The giant insects are attacking. Man the guns, everybody. Everybody to his post. Our only scientist died not long ago. Without him, we are helpless to combat the giant insects, which are ruining our lands. Ah, here's our outpost. From over the hills comes a swarm of insects rapidly approaching the fort. Closer and closer fly the strange monsters. Notify all outposts that the insects are attacking. Tell them to be in readiness. There they come. Fire when I give the command.
I wonder whether Starship Troopers is this where they got their idea.
Don't know. Remember, this is long before that, I would think.
Yeah, it is, but they fought bugs, It was in the future. I'm just thinking the basic idea. There's lots of things that are different, obviously.
Help! One of them is broken through. I'm being attacked. Before the others can stir, Stuart blasts insects into oblivion. That was quick thinking, my friend. We are ready, but first, let me introduce myself. I am called Ronald of Glen. Take this, a Tomo gun. You'll find it extremely useful. All right. Now I had you be Stuart. Now it's time for Stuart to speak again.
Okay. My name is Stuart Taylor. Do you mind if I ask what seems a silly question? What year is this?
This is the year 9250. Let's see. Adjusting their flying belts, they soar over the desolate. They soar over the desolate waste, finally halting at a huge city. So 9250 from 1940. So that's going from the 93rd century to the 20th from the 20th century
Almost
to the
7,000 years.
73 centuries, or 73,000 years, basically, or 7,300 years, 7,300 years.
Yeah.
Ah, here is the city of insects.
What a fantastic place.
This is as far as I can go. I must return to my station.
No matter, I'll go on alone.
As Stuart nears the city, a loud humming sound indicates that his presence has been discovered. And he is carried to the city. So I guess he must have been grabbed there at some point.
Yeah.
Inside the huge hive, he is led to um, a daze um, where sits one of the creatures. You want to do the bug there?
I am delighted at your visit. From your looks, you make a splendid specimen for my experiments on the human species. For centuries past, the insects have been the subject of interest for humans. The tables have turned. We are the superior beings now.
Good voice work there, Rick.
It is fortunate you have been added to my collection. You make an excellent specimen.
Soon, Stuart Taylor is put into a huge glass jar. Talk about turning the tables, huh?
This raid is almost inconvenient. It will put off my experiments for a time. In the meanwhile, you can be useful in working the ray cannons. Remember, no tricks, or your miserable life will be snuffed out instantly.
Quickly, they are led into the firing room. There, the hideous insect seats himself behind the gigantic ray machine.
Now's my chance to make a break while he's at the controls.
While the giant insect is busy at the gun controls, Stuart decides on a daring plan.
Now's my chance.
And he jumps on the insect there. Huh. Straining every muscle, Stuart struggles to keep the murderous beak away from his throat.
You fool, you cannot escape me.
Lunging at Stuart with a terrific spring, the insect throws him back violently against the switch panel. Suddenly, great flashes of electricity streak across the room. Then all is silent. Just then, the steel door bursts open, and in steps Ronald, a ray gun in his hand.
What happened? Where is the
Hold on,
insect?
Rick.
Uh,
Stuart, are you hurt?
what happened? Where is the insect monster?
There it lies dead, burnt to a crisp. Follow another exciting Stuart Taylor story in next month's Jumbo Comics. How did you like that one, Rick?
I'm not sure whether exciting would be the word that I would give it. It seemed like it barely got started.
Well,
It was just starting to get interesting.
Like the first story we read, Sheena was 11 pages. This one was 7.
Yeah, Sheena seemed like there was like 2 or 3 stories in one. This seemed like it was just about to get started.
Well, I mean, it probably may continue the following month because obviously, he needs to get back to his own time at some point.
Yeah.
Right? ZX5 Spies in Action here. What do you think of the color scheme here on these?
Not too bad.
All right, there's a little shading. That's I guess supposed to be a boot or something. Look at her leg right there, the bottom part of her leg. I don't know if that's supposed to be a boot of some type or they just somehow shaded that wrong.
No, that's supposed to be a boot, I would say.
Hilton of the West by Fred Sands. Yes. All right, let's see. Inspector Dayton. A nice mix of stories here. We got a jungle adventure. We got a supernatural story. Scientific adventure kind of thing.
Yeah, I call it more scientific adventure. I wouldn't say supernatural. At least we haven't had anything supernatural yet.
Yeah. So, anyways, all right. So that's all of that. And now we'll get ready to move on to the next story we're going to do, which is K.O. Kirby feature in Fight Comic Volume 1, Issue 3. And see if I can get over there.
Fight the comic! I'm going to fight
What was that?
I'm going to fight the comic. I got to fight my way out of a wet paper comic. A wet paper bag. We've made the comic into a wet paper bag.
All right, so the next story we're going to look at is Fight Comics, Volume 1, Issue... Well, that's the next comic, and then we're going to look at K.O. Kirby's story from there. Oh, yeah. Let's see. And even JR hasn't popped in to say hi yet.
Yeah.
So, oh, we're already coming up. We're already 2 stories in. We've already coming up on an hour here, Rick.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're less pages now, right? Or at
Well,
least
yeah.
so.
Well, yeah. So the Sheena story was 11, and then the Stuart Taylor weird stories that was 7. So now it's going to go 8, 6, 5. Will be the next set of stories. So in grand total, let's see, 18, 26, 32, 37 pages altogether tonight. But anyways, here's Fight Comics. That Shark Brody on the cover there. And that another house ad there.
Speak of JR, he appears, or at least he said
Oh, he just
something.
popped in, just as we mentioned that he hadn't been in yet.
Well, he
Hail
might have been
Z-Man.
he might have been watching, but not saying anything.
Yeah. Damn, I was eating missed Friday stories. Well, you missed the first 2 stories that we got got out there, but we still have 3 more we're gonna go through. So just hang on.
Hang on, you will be.
As Rick does his giant insect voice there for you guys. Very creative, nonetheless. Fighter. Life of Tony Galento. There's another like kind of biop. Yeah. K.O. Kirby. Here we go. K.O. Kirby by Chuck Walker.
K.O. Kirby? Oh, yeah, it sounds like a boxer.
Yeah. At his camp in the country, K.O. is training secretly for the next bout. But hidden in a tree, a fight-mad farm boy watches his idol with great excitement. His enthusiasm grows too much for him. He slips and oops, falls right into the ring there. Kirby's angered trainer begins to shove the kid away roughly, but hey, hold it, fella. That's a sweet wallop you pack. What's your name, kid? I'll let you do the kid here.
That's it. Call me Kid, Mr. Kirby.
I can make a fighter of you if you're willing to train.
Oh boy, there's nothing I'd like better, Mr. Kirby.
And of course, as you can tell, I guess a portion of the book got torn off a bit there. The kid goes into stiff training. KO expects to groom him for the featherweight crown. Never let your guard down. The kid is thrilled to train with Kirby. He shows rapid progress. After a few pro fights, you'll be ready for the title. Better start packing all of your things, kid. We will be leaving for the city. After several successful bouts in New York, KO signs the kid for the championship fight.
One evening.
Yeah, that was a weird way they lettered that E right there. Looked more like a G. I couldn't tell if that was a G or an S.
Yeah.
But one evening, they are dining in a restaurant. A stranger overhears KO. Kid, the champ, I'll be a pushover for you. I'll have you do the guy in the red suit there. I'll do the guy in green.
Did you hear that, Bendelli? KO's got his fighter signed up for the big championship bout.
That means our fighter doesn't get the first crack at the champ, or doesn't he? I think he will. Maybe Kirby's boy won't be in condition to even enter the ring.
Oh, I understand. What you mean, boss?
And Rick, what do you think they mean?
He's gonna have an accident. Or try and make.
Well, they're gonna try to make him have an accident, right?
JR says that progressed quickly. Fall from the tree, full-time training to a pro career in half a page. I think it was a full page.
Yeah. Oh, great.
But yeah.
To full-time training, to pro career, and half a page. Yeah, that is quite a way to progress a story. All right. Oh, great. This time they cut out a portion of it. I'll try to do the best I can with what they got. The afternoon of the fight, the kid is training at the gym. Unaware that his sparring partner filled his glove with lead.
Oh,
He catches the kid with a right. I guess I was able to get through it, huh?
Yeah.
Again and again, that heavy right crashed against the stunned kid's face. Battered to a pulp, the kid sags down to the canvas. He is immediately taken to the hospital. KO rushes to see him. Who did it? You want to do the doctor right there?
According to the kid's description, it was one of Bendelli's men, Slam D-Man.
Let's see. KO pays a visit to Bendelli. Oh, wait, that's right. I think I was the one doing Bendelli. I'm sorry to hear that, but I have nothing to do with Slam Demand. Just then, the door opens, and in walks Slam.
Hello, boss. I sure did. Hey, boss. Hello, boss. I sure did fix.
Nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with him, huh? Kirby becomes a human thunderbolt. No, wait! He gets a right to the jaw there for his trouble. He begins to clean house. Just in time, KO whirls about. And leaves a place strewn with groaning crooks. And that night, KO is about to defend his titles. You want to do the
Okay. Take your time, KO. You exerted yourself this afternoon.
But Kirby is still angry at the day's event, and as the bell rings, he galvanizes into instant action. With a blasting right, KO ends the fight in the first. Wow, don't get KO mad because he's going to KO you, right?
You'll get KO'd. Don't get KO mad because you'll get KO'd.
Don't upset KO Kirby because he will KO you. Weeks pass and Kid shows splendid recovery. Well, you're all set, Kid, now. You have to meet Bendelli's fighter before contending for the championship. The night of the fight comes. The Kid steps into the ring with Bendelli's Bob Benton.
With BB.
Bendelli's men overhear the sports commentators. Say the kid is a surefire championship material. Bendelli learns of this. Oh yeah? Well, I'll fix it so that material will soon be a bum piece of goods. Oh boy, the standard leg breaking attempt coming. Between rounds, the kid receives his instructions from KO. Nice going, kid. Keep away from his left. While across the ring, Bennett also hands out instructions. I think it's Bendelli.
Okay, yeah, Bendelli.
Remember, do as I told you. Go in there now. Kid comes in for a looping right, which Dub evades. Dub comes up from the floor and strikes low. Oh boy. The kid staggers drunkenly and goes down from the terrific foul. Now, Rick, do you know why that's a? Do you know what he did that they're calling a foul there?
Oh, not exactly. No. Maybe if you go up, I might be able to tell. I'm not sure.
Dub delivered a low blow.
Oh, okay.
That's illegal in boxing. Hitting below the belt is illegal in boxing.
Okay.
That's exactly what he did there. He kind of hurt the cojones, as it were. But gritting his teeth, the kid gets up to meet his onrushing opponent. I'll let you do Dub here. You were doing the other guy as well.
That's just the beginning, kid.
Between rounds, the kid recuperates sufficiently to go on.
Coming for some more.
Kid feints with his left, then sends in a smashing blow. Dub is dropped with a dynamite-filled right. Now, that's not literal. He does not literally have dynamite in his hand. It just means very quick. Yeah, just to clear that up. This is an expression they use. He stays down. 8, 9, 10. He's out. Leaving their dressing room, KO and Kid are about to enter a cab when a shot rings out. Kirby is wounded in the arm. You dirty rat. Spotting a fleeing figure, KO gives chase. With a bullet in his arm, he's chasing after the crook who just shot him. But the gunman begins to fire at Kirby, who veers off into an alley as a policeman comes by on the scene. KO climbs the wall overlooking the street and jumps. He's your man, officer. Bendelli put him up to this. I think you can get enough evidence out of this mug to convict Bendelli's entire gang. A few days later, Kirby is convalescing from the bullet wound he received. And that's his manager there. That's you.
There's the contract for the featherweight championship bout.
KO. It was you anyways, because you were the kid. Okay. Good boy. Sure, we sure had to do a lot of fighting to get that. And then they have a little The Case of the Diamond Death, Case 1, File A, Clue number 3. So, well, the print's a little small there. How did you like that story, Rick?
I think it's the best one so far, actually.
That one's more action filled. That was, of course, a boxing story. Now, a sports feature boxing story. Now, boxing back in the golden 30s and 40s there was very big in that time period.
Yeah. JR's like, what happened to the guy Kirby was training when the kid dropped out of the tree? I think that was somebody he was just sparring with. I don't think he was training him. You don't think it was his training? I could be wrong.
Yeah,
but obviously we don't know because they didn't.
Well, when they say trainer too, it might have just meant his training partner too. That's. I think I know what JR is talking about because he's talking about at the very beginning of the story it was the guy who was training with who was basically his sparring partner for KO is the one who kind of got upset and went after the kid.
Yeah. I knew which guy he was talking about, and that's what I was saying. I think he was just a sparring partner. Or maybe just somebody he was training with at that point.
Let's just take a quick look at the rest of this, just so you know.
He was
how did you like that story, Tim? I'm sorry, Rick. Sorry about that.
Yeah, as I was saying, it's one that I like the most so far. Obviously, I think it's the one with the least.
It had a pretty good pace to it, and that was like 8 pages. Yeah. That was 1 page more than Stuart Taylor's story. And just a nice mix of features here in these comics. Even though Fight Comics, they call it a superhero title, but I was thinking, we did have a couple of boxing stories. Let's see, Rip Regan, the Power Man.
Breaker breaks Chekhov's trainer law. Okay, what's Chekhov's trainer law? JR.
Breaks Chekhov's trainer. Well, I would think that maybe he's referring to Star Trek Chekhov, for all I know.
Yeah, I don't think so because as far as I know, there's no training law that has to do with that Chekhov.
Warren here.
Probably some boxer or whatever.
And then there's Chip Collins, a pilot. So, yeah, some of these Golden Age books have nice, a nice diverse set of stories. Even though Jungle, Fight, and Planet, I think were supposed to be more like a specific genre. Well, I know Jungle and Planet
Fight
were more genre specific. Fight's a little bit more of a mix, much like Jumbo.
If you show a trainer in the first act, you must train somebody by the third act, like Chekhov's gun. Okay. Never heard of Chekhov's gun. Well, actually, I think I have, but I'm not sure what it is. Is that a movie, Chekhov's gun? Or whatever? And that trainer, the trainer in the first one was, in the first thing, he was training with somebody, just doing his regular probably workout to train for himself. But he did train that Kirby kid.
All right. So, anyways, getting ready to move on to. So the next story we'll be going over is Simba, King of Beasts in Jungle Comics Volume 1, Issue 3.
Didn't we just go through Jungle Comics?
No, that was Jumbo Comics.
Oh, okay.
Fiction House had Jumbo Comics and Jungle Comics.
They both start with JU, you know. You can see how I get a little
Well,
bit.
they also have Fight Comics, which we just read just now, and Planet Comics as well. So
Yeah,
those are, of course, four
we
of the
read,
big
like,
six, as it were.
well, and in Jungle Comics, or Jumbo Comics, we read a Jungle Adventure, so that probably would confuse me.
Yeah. Well, because in Jumbo Comics we read, of course, Sheena, Queen of the Jungle. No, which is why I only picked one story for this book, not like multiple. Not like multiple. That's why I only picked one from each of these three because two of them were genre specific books, Jungle and Planet. I thought Fight Comics would have been also a genre specific book. Where
Okay.
he would have had a bunch of yeah, he did have a couple of boxing um, features, but you also had some other stuff in there. But
Okay,
and,
JR says Chekhov's gun is a lot about story writing. It describes a gun over the mantle in Act 1, and by Act 3, the gun needs to go off in the story, i.e., no superficial elements in writing. Superficial.
oh, look at that lady right there, Camilla, Queen of the Lost Empire. Look at that lady right there,
Yeah,
Rick.
she could.
She definitely grabs. I think she definitely grab a lot of people's attention. What do you say?
Yeah, I'd like to see Dillard draw her more modern.
Maybe you should show him that piece and then see what he can come up with.
Dylan's got no time for that at the moment.
Yeah, I
He got
know.
behind on his drawing stuff.
Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy, Jungle Boy. Does
I
the
think you might have read one of the past features of this one because this is a kid
yeah.
who they just left in a cage unattended and he ended up escaping.
Oh yeah,
They said he was going to kill him in the morning and they just left him unattended. He ended up escaping.
yeah. It's like you don't do that. You kill him now. You don't wait.
All right, here we go. Here's the feature we're going to look at from this book: Simba, King of Beasts. And this one's going to be all narrations, but I should be able to zip through it because good copy here. This should obviously be pretty quick read, 6 pages. Although Simba is now living a quiet life with his family, he is still the master of the surrounding jungle. A small white boy, lost in the brush and weak from hunger, is staggering along a game trail. Suddenly, an enormous snake confronts him. Simba is aroused from a nap by a terrified scream and hastens to investigate. The boy is paralyzed, with fear and unable to flee as the big snake is about to strike. Simba's roar as he rushes to the rescue saves the child. The great serpent wraps itself around the lion, trying to crush him to death, while Simba's claws and fangs tear at the strangling coils. Leaving the torn, mangled body of the snake, Simba walks slowly away, looking back at the boy, who, sensing the friendliness of the big lion, follows him. Basically, well, what do you think is going on right there as he's looking back to the kid? What do you think is going on in the lion's head there, Rick?
Should I eat him or not? No. How do I say this boy? It's the lion is Jesus figure, the child is Adam, the serpent, Satan. Interesting. He says
Probably thinking he's gonna, maybe try to protect the boy. Have the boy. I think he's trying to tell the boy, "Hey, come on, come with me, kid. I'll take care of you." That's what I'm thinking.
JR says he thinks it's a C.S. Lewis metaphor. Oh, interesting. Thoughts, for sure.
Oh, that could be.
Although I don't think C.S. Lewis wrote this, so.
The lion is Jesus figure, child Adam, servant Satan. Oh, I mean that's possible. All right, so
Well, although this does give me feel a little bit as giving me feels of the Jungle Book,
hmm,
but instead of the Baloo, the big ape, it's or not ape, bear. It's Simba, this lion.
yeah. Well, this particular feature I think is pretty much all narration.
Yeah,
I of course we did read another Simba story before. It was all narration. There was no actual
yeah,
dialogue, which is why, as I said, I think we get through it pretty quickly usually because it's all narrations, a narrative. Um, they come to the lion's lair, and the boy becomes one of Simba's family. We got kind of hard. Well, as as I have discovered, Tarzan was probably the most famous of these of such stories. But these
yeah,
stories were actually, I think, a bit common back in this time. You had a number of stories where an
yeah,
animal or a pack of animals would adopt a human child. You
yeah.
know,
There was a lot in comics. Of course, Tarzan did get made into a comic eventually, but of course, it was a novel first, and it attracted the attention of movie people, like a lot of books I think back then did.
yeah. He soon becomes used to the new life and learns to find berries and other fruit for food. He accompanies Simba on his hunting trips. The father of the boy has given up all hope finding him after weary weeks of searching.
Robert Howard had Tarzan clone too. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean. Was there a real Tarzan that this Robert Howard guy that's trying to clone? Yeah.
I think Robert Howard is known for Conan, if I understand correctly. I don't know if that's who JR is kind of. Well, no, it wouldn't be Conan because he's more of a barbarian than a jungle guy. But anyways, let's see now. Oh, we actually have some dialogue here. Um, you want to be the kid's father? I'll be the other guy there.
It's no use. We may as well quit.
No, sir. There isn't a chance that the lad is. No, sir. There isn't a chance that the lad is still alive. The young lioness of Simba's pack gets in front of the hunters and runs out into the open. The white men are about to fire when Simba rushes out of the brush behind them. As the hunters whirl to face him, the boy suddenly appears. You want to do the boy as well?
Don't shoot him. He's my pal.
And look at that, he jumps right into his father's arms. While Simba solemnly listens, the boy tells the story of his adventure.
And those cubs are the cutest things. Can't you go and see the other lions, Daddy? No, they would be afraid of me. But maybe this big lion will follow us a while. Come on!
Simba, walking with the boy, follows the white hunters for miles. The native porters are afraid of Simba and refuse to travel near him. Suddenly, there is a great commotion among them, and a rhinoceros comes charging into the open. The hunters turn to meet it, but Simba is in front of them. The old lion seems to feel himself responsible for the protection of the safari. Roaring his challenge, he leaps forward to meet the charging brute. Look at that. Lion versus rhinoceros. There's a battle for you.
Well,
Simba isn't. Oh,
Simba isn't taking this lion down.
No, he isn't. Nice pun there, Rick. Simba's teeth and claws cannot penetrate the thick hide of the rhinoceros, but the brute gives up the fight and gallops away.
I guess the rhinoceros just didn't want to horn in on his action.
I guess so. Mr. Pun, Mr. Pun, Rick is Mr. Pun. Mr. Pun, Mr. Pun, Rick is Mr. Pun. When the hunter's rifles brings him down, follow the adventures of Simba in the next issue of Jungle Comics. And there we go. And then there's Phantoma, a mystery woman of the jungle, Phantoma. That's kind of a serious look, don't you think?
Yeah.
By Barclay Flagg.
Robert Howard had a few characters, said JR, and Dad was going to shoot the lion. Well, he didn't. And you have two stories
so
in
we
here.
got one more feature we're doing tonight, which will be Red Comic and Planet Comics Volume 1, Issue 3.
Oh, wow. We went in 4 different comics for each of the stories.
Yeah, five features well, usually depending, usually that's going to be more like, as we see more and more, I'm going to pick usually, depending upon the situation, I'm going to pick usually at least one story from like 4 or 5 different comics, depending upon, depending upon the situation,
Yeah.
It just we're not at a point yet where we have a lot of comics that have like that many books. DC is one of them. Here's another one, obviously, getting quickly. Fawcett's going to be one as well. So
one way to maybe be able to have these done is have a few different tabs with them brung up in each one.
I already got enough to. I mean, I'm.
Well, I just mean on a night like tonight, if you have.
Well, we're still making good time though, Rick. It's like it's just coming up on an hour and a half. We'll probably be done with because this last feature is only going to be like 5 pages. The Red Comic feature is only going to be 5 pages. So I think by the time we get done with that, it'll probably be close to a quarter till, which would be about the time we'd start like wrapping up. So
yeah, it's probably depending on how fast we get to it. It'll probably be like 4 minutes. Might even be about 22.
now this says 1944, but these books are actually from 1940, actually. So a person who indexed these was off a bit there. But anyway, so there's Planet Comics.
So there's probably more sci-fi-ish type stuff.
Yep. The Planetary Adventures of Flint Baker.
Yes, follow the adventures of a baker in outer space. Will he cook donuts? Bread? Funnel cake? Who knows?
Okay, here's Amazona, the Mighty Woman. So here's somebody who predates Wonder Woman who kind of has similar characteristics.
I wonder if she was a prototype for Wonder Woman. Because Amazon.
Yeah. But she goes around more or less in a dress doing all this.
Yeah, well, one
Well,
of the
actually, though the early some of the early stories of Wonder Woman also had her in like a blouse
a
and
mini
skirt.
skirt or a skirt.
Yeah. So Red Comet by Mazer Thorb. Red Comet, mystery explorer of the universe, cruising through space in search of adventure, suddenly gets a strange message. You want to do the radio voice here?
Jupiter calling all planets. This is Golo, ruler of the giants, speaking. Giant speaking to you from the throne of on Jupiter. Throne room on Jupiter. This is a challenge to all the solar system. I invite you to battle my army of giants. Is the mightiest in the universe. We are invincible. If no one accepts, I will prepare an attack on your planet one by one.
Like a streak of light, the Red Comet swings his ship toward Jupiter. He lands swiftly on the planet of giants and hurries to the huge palace of Golo, magically shrinking to tiny proportions and slipping by the huge guards. The Red Comet climbs upon the mountainous knees and confronts the startled Golo. Imagine that you're sitting there, and all of a sudden you've got this little man on your on your knees or lap there, like this very small man. Like that's going to be an experience.
Yeah, but that guy looks big enough. I think I would have been able to see him coming. He's the size of, well, at least height-wise, he's the size of a small cat or a small dog. Obviously not, width-wise.
I'll do Red Comet here. I will accept your challenge, Golo. Mighty ruler, I've come to battle with your army.
You alone will surely conquer my army. That's a good one. The mouse will fight a herd of elephants.
Well, it's not totally unheard of. The elephants usually tend to be scared of mice.
Yeah, and he's heard of mice and elephants. I thought they were only on Earth.
Ha ha! It's funny now, but wait until we hear who laughs last. Ha ha! That night, the frightened sentry summons Golo to the courtyard. There a whole squadron of his giants lies dead before him.
Who? No! Rockets have arrived. No one accepted my challenge except the little. It can't be!
Alarmed, Golo keeps nightly vigil to await another visit of the invader. Suddenly,
What's that? The rays! Gods! Kill it! Kill it!
an enormous figure towers over the giants, impervious to their deadly fire. Another squadron demolished. Another squadron demolished. The giant Golo ponders on the mystery. Again, the Red Comet climbs upon Golo's knee. But, well, Golo, are you ready to surrender, or are you anxious to lose more men to me? Annoyed, Golo brushes the little man away as he would a fly.
fight you? Why? I need only to grind you beneath my heel. You cannot. Get out. I have important things to do.
But Red Comet, okay, I didn't even see this, but I didn't go down far enough apparently. But Red Comet persists in speaking the challenge the giant. He challenges the giant to hand combat. All right, so I kind of messed that up myself because I didn't go down far enough. But
Yeah.
suddenly, the Red Comet grows before the astonished Golem. The gnat annoys you, does it? Well, will you accept my challenge now?
What the?
Golo rises, ready to meet the Red Comet. The Red Comet apparently has the ability to change his size, much like the Ada or Giganta or Doll Man, you know. Except he doesn't just he's actually more like Ant Man or Giant Man because he can go back and forth. He can turn himself into a giant or into the size of an ant.
Yeah.
This should teach you that things aren't always what they seem to be. The dwarf on your knee was the invader in your courtyard. And remember, Giant Golo, there's always someone bigger than you. With swift, powerful blows, the Red Comet easily overcomes the bewildered ruler of Jupiter.
I think they created a character of my own called Red Comet.
Now you'll think twice before challenging the universe to battle, my conceited friend. The Red Comet leaves the planet in peace and speeds to greater thrills. Read about them in next month's issue. Planet Comics on sale the 15th of every month. So how did you like that one, Rick?
Good. Again, I liked it better than the first couple for sure.
So, of the five that we read tonight, which would you say is the best? Because I know you said earlier you thought K.O. Kirby one was the best. That's still
Yeah.
your
Well, it's definitely a toss up between K.O. Kirby and that one.
Red Comet?
Yeah, I might go with Red Comet. You know, they're both pretty good. I think they both have some messages you could read into them. You know, like you know, with Red Comet, you know, obviously don't judge a book, you know, or you know the guy that you're fighting that challenges you. He might surprise you. You know, almost a David versus Goliath.
Yeah, they were all pretty good. They were all pretty good stories there. You know,
Yeah.
Like most people would know Sheena of the Jungle because, of course, the TV series Sheena, the movie series of Tanya Roberts, all that.
Yeah. Sheena has a slightly bigger name than the other characters.
Yeah. So anyway, so let's see where we're at on time here.
We're
Now
almost
it's 38. So that's not too bad then. All right. So I guess we're gonna throw in a couple of humor ones in there to do it, but all right. So I'm just looking at some stuff here real quick. All right. So let's see. I guess we can try to talk. So how did you like those stories tonight, Rick? Overall.
overall, I like them. You know, obviously, Red Comet and what's the other one I said? The boxing one, K.O. Kirby or whatever.
Kirby from Fight Comics.
Yeah, I think I like those.
From Planet Comics. Yeah.
I like those two the best. It's amazing, and those were the two shortest too. So I think they were.
Actually, okay. I would say that we got through the K.O. Kirby one the quickest, but the two shortest in terms of page count were Simba and the last one there.
Oh yeah, and I like Simba a little bit too. So
Again, that one was pretty much all narration. So
yeah,
we did have some commentary, some dialogue there. So
yeah,
yeah, that was some pretty good stuff though. Five stories in this ton. So, anyways, let's see where we. Okay, we're at hour 40 now. Rick, what did again? Did you want to promote anything? Maybe about any projects you did? I know you're getting ready for a move, so
yeah.
you had
I'll just promote my video that I did today. Canadian Shield number 3, page 4, part 1. Hopefully, I will have the second part up sometime tomorrow. I've got a couple things to do tomorrow, like going out to get some food, and then tomorrow night I'm going out to a dance. So I'm not sure how much time I'll have tomorrow to work on things. Hopefully,
Oh, you're going to a dance tomorrow? What, your church
yeah.
putting on a dance?
No. Through the Christian singles group that I'm a part of, there's we go. Sometimes I go to a dance that's put on by um like just a lodge or something like that. Like I'm not sure what you call it. Lodge, not a lodge. Like I forget how to word it, but some other organization puts it on that has a building of their own or whatever.
All right. Well, just a reminder to everybody, of course, if you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. That'd be appreciated. And albeit we're done with most of the content tonight, as always, if anything ever catches your attention, feel free to comment and/or ask questions. We'll try to answer questions to the best of our ability. So with that, now we're at an hour 42, so I think we're going to start wrapping up here. So what we're going to do now. Today is Friday, July the 19th. Rick, if you'll stick around after
Yeah.
post show for a couple minutes. So today being Friday, January 19th, 2024. Let's take a look back at this day in each history. History. So first off, I'm going to head back 90 years ago, as back on
Long time ago.
Right. And back on this date in 1934, Shakabai Baby, a Popeye cartoon, um, um, was released in theaters. Of course, at the time, Billy Costello and Mae Quetzel doing the voices in this. Billy Costello was the first voice of Popeye. Was there for the first couple of years before Jack Mercer took over after a bit of a contract dispute between Costello and the Fleischers, I believe. Here's the so Sockabye Baby here. Popeye is babysitting, and the little one won't be quiet unless he's sleeping. Obstacles include Harpo Marx playing the harp on the street, a music school, a ship blowing its horn, a radio outside a radio store, a building construction site, blaring car horns. Popeye deals with all of these in the least efficient way possible. All right, so
Yeah, he sucks
90 years ago today, Fleischer Studios' Sockabye Baby premiered in movie theaters on this day 90 years ago today.
90 years ago, it sucked its way into movie theaters.
All right. So moving ahead now to the year 2000. On this date in the year 2000.
It's a little closer.
Yeah. 24 years ago today. This date in the year 2000. The 35th issue of Usagi Yojimbo from Dark Horse's imprint, Dark Horse's Maverick imprint, went on sale on newsstands on this date back in 2000. sold for $2.95, was 24 pages. Part 2 of the Mystery of the Demon Mask story, written and drawn by Stan Sakai. So on this date, 24 years ago today, the 35th issue of Usagi Yojimbo went on sale on this date back in 2000. And
Cool.
finally,
Yeah.
and finally, finally, on this date in 2004, 20 years ago today, um, on this date 20 years ago today, WWE held its Monday Night Raw event from the Rec Center in Green Bay, Wisconsin. This was, of course, the go home Raw leading into the Royal Rumble that year. And the main event saw Goldberg um, in a battle royal to determine who would get the number 30 spot in that year's Royal Rumble. Goldberg defeated Booker T, Chris Jericho, Mark Henry, Randy Orton, and Rob Van Dam. As each of the men involved in this match had to earn their way to this match, as the show started with Booker T and Rob Van Dam defeating Christian and Matt Hardy to earn their shot in the main event battle royal. Chris Jericho defeated Rene Dupree. Mark Henry defeated Rico. Spike Dudley defeated Kane. Goldberg defeated Scott Steiner and Test in a three-way match. And Randy Orton would defeat the Hurricane. So that's how the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 individuals in the match got in there. So on this date, 20 years ago today, WWE held its Monday Night Raw event, the Rec Center in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So with that, I thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Rick, I hope now this Sunday. Now I don't want to say too much about it because I don't haven't confirmed anything yet. But this Sunday we're looking at a special episode. It's not going to be our typical. If I can get this pulled off, it's not going to be our typical open mic format for this Sunday's weekend edition. I do have something in mind. I just again have to get confirmation on something for it to happen. But with that, I hope to see everybody back here on Sunday. Bye.